What's up, people? It's XNOX, and today we're gonna do a different kind of thing with this topic, unlike the other ones we've done in the previous videos. Today, we're gonna talk about the fandoms. I guess I'll call it some sort of form of bias of basically characters that don't deserve the hate and the ones that really should, but for some reason, people have a bad habit of defending them anyway.
Yes.
And I can't see his screen, so I'm technically blind here,
Oh yeah,
like
my
quite
bad.
literally.
My bad.
And and not to mention what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about why the fandom of this is gonna be weird, but bear with us. We're
Hmm.
gonna talk about why uh Mineta, why people basically want to attack Mineta, but yet they want to defend Denji. And we had this discussion the other day where I pointed that out to you. I was like, people always attack Mineta. I remember one woman I even talked to on one live stream, or rather in her chat, and I remember her just basically going about talking about beating up Mineta or whatever. And I'm like, yo, chill, you know. You even
Yeah.
admit Mineta doesn't even like his own. He doesn't even like his own perverted tendencies, and
Yeah.
he just tries to,
Yeah.
be a
We
chill.
we could go to that a little later. But yeah, it's one of those topics where, like you mentioned, some people who gets a little too much hate, while they shouldn't be, while characters where they don't have has more defenders, right? And they're like, yeah, are you sure you want to
Hmm.
defend this character? Because, and to clarify, because we already did like 3 videos talking shit to Denji. It's not because I'm a Denji hater. I'm just criticizing
We're
how they
not
write the.
haters. We're
Yeah.
not haters. No, let's just clear that real quick. Listen, guys, when we're talking about this videos, we're not dingy haters. It's just that, like, okay, you know what? It's better if I just put it this way. I might as well just say it because I mean, honestly, I don't want to sugarcoat it. It's like, listen, we're not dingy haters because if we were like, once look at the Chainsaw Man setting, ignore the narrative for a second, ignore the shit that the shit builds up from his backstory. And just look at Denny's behavior and tell me any moment where he actually invests himself in someone's personal life. I hate asking these questions again, but I might as well just get out of the way just to make that clear for people who are looking at this video to actually think, or that with the meme of Omni Man. Think.
Thank
Think back
Mark.
to Chainsaw Man setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously, it's like think back. Name one time Denji actually went to someone and was actually trying to
Mhm.
genuinely care about what's going on in a person's life, personal life. To make it even worse, people. I hate going this direction. I might as well again, unfortunately. Like for example, the girl he so called had a crush on, Himino. After she died, he even admitted he doesn't feel anything for her death. And yet you have people who want to defend him. And
Wait,
then one
which
thing again that also, oh,
yeah,
go
go
ahead.
on. Yeah, I was about to say
Oh,
like it kind of sucks because she was like the only character among all the potential love interests for Denji, the only one that actually developed any genuine feelings for Denji, so it kind of
yeah,
sucks.
but yeah, but see, but what's the point? He just flat out admitted he didn't feel shit for her death. So it's like, well, you developed feelings for the wrong guy, I'm afraid.
It is what it is.
And then, and no, 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 let me get to it because I'm pretty sure some people who are going to look at this who've watched the movie with Denji Rize, or especially all those fanboys who I know who want to ship him and Rize to death or whatever. Oh, they'll finally he'll be with someone who's like him. Not quite, because here's the problem. I really hate to do this part, but I might as well. Is that listen, people? I'm gonna point out two first things about the Rize arc before I jump onto the next arc before she where she last appears, but just not her quite herself. And we'll get to that. Is when Denji calls himself. I mean, and again, I'm gonna just say this: Denji never cared about Rize. I'm gonna say it right now. He just liked what she represented, and what she represented him was freedom from the place he was at because he got tired of it. Now I know a lot of people were talking about like the part where she, did appear, and then oh poor Denji because she didn't show up. But here's the problem with that situation. And two things on why that's the problem with that situation that people completely ignore is that if Denji truly cared about Rize, he would go out of his way to find her, search for her, would have at least attempted to do so, but yet he never attempted to do shit. Period. Unless I'm wrong, he didn't attempt to actually search for her at all.
Yeah.
And another second problem is that Denji was willing to just ditch Aki and Power and go away with Rize. if they would have came up to it and didn't give a shit about how they would feel about it. Even though people will call it the so-called family, but yet that family apparently doesn't matter that much, considering he was willing to just leave them and not think twice about it. Not a note, nothing. Not even get his stuff, just leave and abandon them. And then yet you people want to still act like Denji is the innocent or right one. Now for the third part, when he does see Rize again, and this is where I'm going to prove my point about basically the fact that he never cared about her, is that when Rize was in the last few chapters, when Rize was puppeteered by Makima, and she was literally just, not herself, completely mind control.
Yeah.
When he first sees Rize after that all that time, his first instinct is not to be show concern or wonder, how she ended up this way or whatever. No, 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 no. What he does is cut her down with his chainsaw and keep going. And yet there is no guilt. There's no wrestling with his emotions about it. Nope, he just does it and keeps going about his business. And yet you people still want to basically make this romantic, well, I can't really call it romantic now, of
Hmm.
shipping when really you're shipping her with a guy who doesn't really give a shit about her. Because if Denji cared, he would have tried to figure out what was going on. But nope, he doesn't even give a shit.
Well,
So it's like, I don't mean to turn this into a rant on that because we were specifically aiming at Mineta and Denji, but comparison. But
I mean,
the point, and then
it
and then
is
to and then,
technically relevant to the discussion. So
you know what? Fair enough. Oh, you know what? Speaking of relevant, I'm also going this direction that will really just destroy it. Just prove my point. Out of all the females that Denji so-called, have a connection with, or whatever, or the people who act like him and Denji or Denji and Power are tight or whatever, like siblings. Yeah, I hate to break the news to you guys, but at the end of part one, where Power risked her life to save Denji's life, right, and had a binding contract and told him to find the Blood Devil in Hell, right? Well, see, here's the problem with that. And when part two starts, he doesn't worry about Power. He doesn't actually even bother to see if he can find a way back in hell to find the Blood Devil. No. Guess what this guy does? He's too busy trying to exploit the Chainsaw Man identity, thinking he'll get him laid, and throughout the entire time, he didn't even bother to do nothing with Power. And yet, you people act like Denji cares about Power, but he clearly doesn't. Power is disposable to him.
pretty
Just like
much.
the other three people, or two people I just mentioned, they're basically disposable to him. The moment he starts representing what he likes, he moves on to someone else. And I already mentioned the first one, female, Yamino, and then I mentioned Rize. Of course, Makima too, because he never cared about Makima. Like I said, with every relationship Denji's ever been in, he just like what people represent to him. He doesn't actually care about them. You see, and that's where I want to get on the whole part with, like I mentioned before, with Mineta, or yeah, with Mineta, is that unlike Denji, Mineta actually cares about the females that he has a crush on. He actually cares how they feel
Yeah.
about him.
I
He'll
think the
even
I think the
he'll
problem
even
with the Mineta and Denji that Mineta he's supposed to be
mm-hmm,
the pervert comic relief. So his interaction are meant to be a joke, right? While
pretty much.
in Denji's case, they try to make it a little more serious.
No, but
Like
here's another problem.
yeah,
Here's another problem that you need to understand too about Mineta is that I will say this: like Mineta's not just a comic relief character. He does participate in the plot. He's not just a comic relief character. He will do other stuff. But it's like, again, even in his serious moments, or even his, you know, moments where he's around his team or whatnot, it's like he wants to show that he gives a shit. Mineta wants to show that he cares about, his teammates, even if ones he'll risk their life for them. Well, Denji doesn't even do that shit.
yeah,
Denji only do shit, and it's funny how people keep ignoring it. Denji has a very unhealthy transactional mindset where I'm like, you keep ignoring the fact that, especially when he flat admitted he didn't give a shit. Oh, and here's the kicker in part two with a line that pretty much clarifies my point about Denji, where and I'm not making this up because you folks can look it up online, where he outright states that if he loses a family, he'll simply just find another one. It's like people were just disposable. It's like, wow, that's a really fucking thing to say.
yeah.
Imagine a guy losing his brother, and you're like, oh, poor. I'm sorry for your loss. Like, oh, no worries. I'll just get another one. Like, wait, what? Like, anybody saying something like that, dude? Honestly, how would you react if someone just said that at the funeral? Where it's like, oh, don't worry, I'll just get another brother. Wait,
Yeah,
what?
which is literally fucked up in so many levels because like that's something
Yeah,
that's something I expect to hear from fucking Game of Thrones. Yeah, from the fucking Red Wedding.
yeah, but this isn't Game of Thrones. Yeah, but this isn't Game of Thrones, so I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you since this isn't Game of Thrones.
I know.
It's like because, like I said, and then that's another problem too. Is that really because I think I've already said this in the other video where we have actually say like already made the statement is that Denji is a sociopath. It's just that he's not a traditional sociopath. Like he doesn't plan on his cruelty and exploiting people. It's just he just does it, and it's more of him just being a naive sociopath, which is just a strange example of one.
Yeah,
And then, because I mean, like I remember, and then to make it, like I said, I think I mentioned it in the other video where I pointed out, like, because especially all the moments where Denji's in and people keep trying to portray like it's positive, like it's not positive because like especially the part where Power suffered for PTSD, right, from the Darkness Devil arc. And then for where whatever, I really hope this video doesn't get flagged, but no, it's like like when he came in there, he didn't come with the intention of trying to comfort her. He came with the intention thinking that that would lead to him wanting to, get laid because of her, vulnerability, which is pretty fucked up. And then the only reason why he didn't go through with it is because he just thought it wasn't going to lead to that. He
pretty
didn't do this
much.
out of respect. He didn't do this because he, cared. No, he just did that because he saw it wasn't going to lead to that. Because if it would have led to that, he would have did it, which would basically just be coercing her to getting laid with him, which is just be sexual abuse. And I really hope this video doesn't get flagged. But
No,
yeah, it's
I got
like
you. Don't worry,
it's funny
I
how
got used to
people.
it.
No, but it's just that it's funny how people want to defend Denji, but yet Mineta wouldn't even do that shit. If
No,
Mineta see one of his female classmates is down, he would try to uplift them. He wouldn't try to
look,
take advantage of
because
that.
I
And
think
anyway,
here's the difference. Here's the difference. Without
okay.
defending way too much of Mineta, because you can make some criticism, but the difference between Mineta that he's a pervert, right? That's a given,
Hmm.
right? But he's not a creep. There's a difference. You know, it's
There is
like
a difference. There is
like
a difference.
he see a pervert, yeah, that he want the stereotypical, oh, there's a hole in the shower or something, he wants to peek at it. Okay, that's a classic Japanese like anime trope, right?
Pretty
But he doesn't go
much.
out of his way to actually harass the females. You know, it's like unlike Denji with his interaction with Howard in the beginning, in part one at the very least, right? He was pretty
Hmm.
harassing or at least coercive in some shape or form.
Pretty much.
You know, that's the difference. Because you could criticize Mineta all you want of him being a pervert, but you cannot say that he was a creep. You know, it's like at best he's just a simp. He can easily be tricked into, oh, a girl is texting me, I gotta be simp, and while reality is catfish, right? But hey, that is harmless compared to Denji's behavior.
No, but here's the thing. Okay, so here's the thing. Like you mentioned, some things Chris. Yeah, but even the things you want to criticize about Mineta, it would never lead to him being somewhat predatory or something like that.
Yeah,
It would always just be him being like he's fantasizing, but he's just like him. He's literally just a stereotypical like teenage boy who's just like want to sow his oaks. It's like, ooh, she's hot. But at the same time, listen, dude, listen, real quickly. It's like the thing about Mineta is that when it comes to the other classmates and whatnot, his other female classmates, if he like wanted to get closer, the only thing he would just try to do is be on the good side. He would try to do something that they'll like or something, so that way
yeah,
he can have a much closer relationship because he would want to be like her guy, like that's his way of being like, okay, well, that's that way I can become her boyfriend. Like, oh, I'll help her with her books. That way I can get close to be her boyfriend. But he's not trying to do anything to her. He's just trying to like have a
yeah.
build a relationship. While Denji, the only thing I really hope this does get flagged.
Don't worry.
I don't think Denji will be
Just,
saying.
just to double speak, like Orwellian double speak. You know, it's like he's trying to
And
score. If Beavis and Butthead, how they talk, he just wants to score, nothing else.
okay, I'm just gonna put it this way. Denji would literally be asking, listen, if Denji were that same situation, we've mentioned this before. If he was in the same situation, he wouldn't be thinking about trying to get closer to a relationship. He would just be thinking because it was well, at least what he calls a transactional mindset in that situation where it's like, oh, I'll do or I mean, no, I don't even think he would do homework, but it's like, oh, I'll get someone to do a homework so I can get laid. Or knowing his dumbass, he would definitely walk up to her and be like, oh, can I do your homework so I can touch your breast? I really hope this doesn't get
Yeah,
flagged. And the truth is that that's one way to get slapped in the face. You see, like
pretty
knowing
much.
Denji, he would definitely do that. He would definitely do it. See, that's something that Mineta would never do. Mineta would never walk up to a girl and say, "Oh, hey, can I do X, Y, Z?" and then touch X, Y, Z. And then it's just kind of like even Mineta would be like, "Dude, are you serious?"
Yeah,
Even Mineta would look at him like, "What made you think that was gonna work?"
pretty much.
Because I mean, it doesn't even help. It doesn't even help that, like I said, especially in part two, where it's like even that one girl. No, 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 it wasn't just one girl. He was literally at a school in part two where he was literally wanting to be used to buy like a furniture. He set up for a few bucks or whatever, and I was just like, "What the hell?" And I'm just like, "That's not something you can get away." Because again, like I know some people would try to use a chainsaw setting how fucked up it is. Yeah, but and like I mentioned before to you, even it's like the moment you put him in a setting like My Hero Academia where the world isn't fucked up, and he's doing shit like that. Now, how does his behavior look like to you? When doing that shit? How does it look now?
Pretty shitty.
No, but it's just no. Not only that, he look unhinged because I'm like, again, how is it gonna look? He goes to the UA asking one of the girls, "Oh, can you send me?" Or if I use homework, can you send me? You really think that they're not gonna be like, teacher, teacher Aizawa, this boy just asked me to do this for him, and it's like, wait, what?
Proceed to play the clip from Chris Hansen's like sit down. It's like,
Mm,
it's like sit
mm.
there real quick. Just like,
And because that's like, listen, I need to point this out right now. That's one thing people completely ignore about Denji because I've seen how people outside of the Chainsaw Man focus where they're portraying Denji. I'm like, dude, you, you because there's so people so brainwashed about the narrative. I'm just like, listen, the way Denji acts, the way this guy acts, you put him in a social norm setting or moral setting, it's like they're not gonna be like, oh, poor Denji. They're gonna be like, what the hell is wrong with you?
yeah.
Like, why do you want
Big,
me to sit on you?
quite literally. Yeah, but the crazier part is like the people often forget because it's like more of an off comment from Mineta. You know, it's like
Mhm.
even by his own admission that he hates his own perverted tendencies. It's like,
It's true. It's true. He does. But again, and then he even fights against it at times. Denji, oh yeah, and that's like I said, that's another thing too. Is like for people for people who watch this video, and for you, name one time where Denji even tries to fight his perverted tendencies. Because I can't think of a moment where he has. Unless I'm wrong, I can't think of a single moment where he even fights it. I think he's even comfortable with it.
yeah. Like I think the only
Like
example,
seriously.
and you gotta be against the example, but I think the only time people going to point at something is to comfort power. But you already rebutted that before, so I'm not gonna repeat it.
Yeah, I already
Yeah,
debunked that, so I'm like, nope. You might want to try again with
yeah. But
that.
still, and
No,
even
seriously though.
then, even Mineta in the story after the 7 year time skip at the end of the final arc, right? If it's been established that he has a small, very small but dedicated fan base who actually appreciate his bravery because he is a brave character who cares for other people. It's just his perverted tendency gets the better of him, and he does something that I may be completely wrong. He may be the only character or one of the very few characters, right, in the story that was willingly to give up his quirk to save another person.
Yo, it's like I said, it's like I said, it's one of those things where I feel like people always keep attacking Mineta, but I'm like Mineta, the things Mineta does would even border on being predatory, unlike Denji, where he's like, at least Mineta actually cares, and into it, he would just be like, because even his other friend that he's with, that's kind of a little bit perverted like him, like Denki, or well, that name's similar. It's like they're both like of course they like their classmates, their female classmates, but it's like they're not trying to do anything that would be considered like okay that goes overboard. But they don't really cross that line. While Denji would definitely cross that line
Yeah,
without even thinking about it. It's one of those things where I'm like, like looking at Mineta's behavior, I'm like, he wouldn't even try to do that shit, you know?
yeah.
Especially with the teacher, like that one teacher, I forget her name, who's hot, but it's like they wouldn't really try to do that with her because
I
of
mean,
well, the obvious reason. It's like
was it even Menendez got chased by midnight, and you think
midnight, yeah.
on the most circus that he would just embrace it? No, he's like, yeah,
Mm,
I may be a pervert, but even for me, this is too much. It's like, it's
like I
like
said, he tried to
he got scared.
no, but like I said. No, but like I said, he tried to. Like I said, he literally is fighting against his own tendencies. He's literally fighting against it. Like, no, I can't let
Yeah,
that happen. Especially considering, like I already said, is like with his classmates. Yes, he'll try to be a peep and whatever, but he's not. Like I said, again, he's not crossing a boundary where he
yeah,
basically would just, be considered okay. That is straight up predator.
yeah.
Even
He,
especially when he does get caught, it's like he just stops
yeah,
because he feels shame. He don't want to push any further.
yeah. And the funny part, he's supposed to be like, this generation of Master Roshi type of pervert,
Pretty
like a,
much.
a, a beloved pervert. Because let's be honest, if people are criticizing Mineta for how he is as a pervert now, imagine how it would be like if Mr. Roshi was a new character.
Oh no. Yeah, that I can already see
You
that.
know,
I can already see
if
it
it wasn't
if that was
already
the case.
if it wasn't already a beloved character from the 80s that he just introduced like 5 years ago, let's say, man, the internet wouldn't allow him to exist.
Not really. Yeah, not really. The internet would even like allow any of his scenes to be existing.
Yeah,
But
and
like I said, but that right there kind of exposes the bias of the people in the internet, especially in the fandom, where I'm like, yet you have Denji is clearly doing shit that I already mentioned before, him trying to sexually exploit. Even Mineta hasn't sexually exploited anyone. Like it's like seriously, name one time Mineta tried to sexually exploit anyone. Period.
nobody.
you know. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's funny how people want to attack Mineta, but yeah, he would even want to do that shit, and it's because he would just see it as wrong and pretty much predatory. Like I said, he would
Yeah,
see it as being creep behavior. While Denji does just that shit,
and the funny
and
part,
then yet people don't attack Denji.
and another part, like they're the complete opposites in a sense of intelligence. Denji is a dumbass. Like that's a given. Mineta
Yeah,
is
yeah, but
Mineta is surprisingly a genius. Is the
he's just
because
lazy.
he's just lazy because it turns out in the scoring board he's on the upper half of the scoring grades among the student. Where people, even the character, were surprised, like, wait, you're actually smart. It's like, it's
He's just
like,
lazy. No, but see, but here's the problem with you even mentioning Denji's dumbassness is that listen, I mean, again, I don't know if you watched Vox Machina, but it's like Grog from that. It's like he is a dumbass, but he can still recognize abuse when he sees it. Especially even Richard Watterson from the Amazing World Gumball can recognize abuse when he sees. But Denji is like, okay, you just clearly don't care. So I don't even feel like he even uses dumbness as an excuse, honestly.
yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
they
But
can at least acknowledge it, if he can't acknowledge it, yeah, then forget about it.
you get
He
my
can't
point.
defend that.
You get my
I guess your
point.
point. Get your point. Because
So
I
it's
mean, the
like,
problem is that
uh-huh.
because the problem is with him is that like I said, and like again, I might as well do it again. Like for example, imagine because I know people will keep using the Chainsaw Man settings and excuses. Like imagine putting him in My Hero Academia. Remember that one student with the guy who was a quirk with a tail, or whatever. I forget his name, but
Oh
I'm sure
yeah,
you know who I'm talking about.
yeah. I forgot because I gotta be honest,
Like
he's a very boring character. But yeah, go on.
no, but my point being is that like imagine because especially considering knowing Denji's dumbass and it's just like him even admitting like okay I really did go this direction where he's like where he shot up Makima and ate her up and calling it love. It's
Yeah,
like do you seriously think in that setting where he mentions that casually and you do you seriously see that character or the other of the classes going like oh poor Denji is like that just sounds psychotic.
yeah. I
It's
mean,
like, and it's funny how the fandom appraises it.
yeah, you fit perfectly well sharing the same cellmate as Hannibal Lecter.
Pretty much, pretty much. Yeah, like, do you like for example, even Todoroki? Do you seriously see Todoroki being chill about that? It's like, I don't think he'll be on Denji's side. He after hearing him say that,
Yeah,
where he's just gonna call eating someone else up a sign of love. Is like that's not love, dude. That's just psychotic. And then the
yeah,
fandom even praises that, like, yeah, that's just psychotic.
yeah,
And then, like I said, it's like like I said, it's like, like I say, when you put Digi in that kind of environment, it really is not a good look on him when everybody else is just kind of like, huh? Did
yeah,
I hear him wrong, or did I literally just hear him say he just ate someone up and call it love?
yeah,
Like, oh no, I did hear him right. Okay, someone let a serial killer in the U.S. school premises. It's like that's what kind of reaction you're gonna get with that situation.
Yeah.
Or just imagine, just imagine. Like, wait, where'd you say he would scale if you put him in Owl House setting? Even though he would be pretty much up there.
We're setting to put him in, but it's like
I'm just putting him in there because of because there is a social norm in the Boeing Isles. That's why I put him in that one.
okay, fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah,
it would have worked that well.
or especially if you put. Oh no, I might as well do it, but it's like especially if you put him in the setting. Like I'm trying to think of that one anime that is. Oh, what about like imagine put him in Tokyo Ghoul with how fucked up that is. Especially right because that one has a social norm setting too.
I mean,
And
yeah,
knowing
like
where he'd be at the top, or he at least where he'd be at the top or something like that. So
I mean, I think Tokyo
or
Ghoul.
even
I think at least in Tokyo Ghoul, he will fry a little bit because many of the ghouls in the character are extremely fucked up. So like, I will not be surprised that
fair
he fits.
enough, fair enough. But now let me think of no, but let me think of the ones where I'm like I don't think you fit at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think of another one. No, what about that one anime? No, I don't think you saw that one. It was basically a dating anime. Tomi no Doke. Did I say that name right? I don't even
Domi
think I
no
said that name
to.
right. That's literally this. That's literally just a dating like slice of life anime. Yeah, you can't tell me he fits in that setting. You
Yeah.
can't tell me he fits in that
No,
setting.
no, 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 no.
He would just, dude. He would literally just be a villain in that setting. His role, like, literally just psychotic.
Like,
Everybody would see him as psychotic.
literally, he will be the fucking every episode from Pokemon where the Team Rocket blasting off again for every defeat. You know, it's like,
Mm. Oh wait, what about? Wait, do you remember that one? I'm trying to think. That one Cartoon Network show. Shit, I can't remember the name of
which
it. Damn
which
it!
which one? Well,
It's from the 2010s.
you know how little that
I'm trying
narrows
to.
down.
Okay, it's the one. It's the one where it's literally crap. I can't. It's I had to, okay. You know what? Okay, screw it. Okay, imagine putting him in Code Geass and how he would look in that setting. If I remember how that setting is correctly, though.
Cool geese. To be honest, that's a wait a minute.
If I remember how that setting is. If I remember how that setting is, though, if I remember correctly, knowing that there is a moral standard and a social norm, so I'm like, I don't
No,
think it's a good look at him on
I
that one.
it will be far
If
less.
unless I'm wrong,
I think he will be far
it would be
less,
what?
less successful than
Why?
normal.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's because like for example,
Because
it's
Go
especially if I'm
Gias,
going to
I
go.
think you're referring to Go Gias as that the whole setting is very like aristocratic, like high class society. So for him to be in it, it's like, who is this peasant? It's like, it's like,
Or like I mentioned before, imagine put him in Steven Universe. Now that one is definitely a moral setting, and he would not look good at all. Honestly, he would just look like a monster in that setting.
it's
Very
like,
much more so.
and this is the one time where even though Steven wants to be find a better solution, I think her adopted mothers would just beat him up for even trying to.
Like I said, it's like it's one of those things where I'm like, because like I said, because the reason I bring this up is because it's like people act like Denji has some sort of direction. Like, no, the fuck he does not. Because I remember one comment on one YouTube talk, one YouTube section. I remember on a video talking about, oh, Denji's not just some horny dude. Like, yeah, he kind of is. Like, he
Yeah,
kind of is. Like I said, it's one of those things where like even when I mentioned Class of '09, like even for him to mention something unhinged, like eating someone up or calling sign of loves, like even the Class of '09 characters, even as shitty as they are, they will be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong
yeah,
with you, dude?" You know it's bad when you have Nicole being like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
yeah,
And she's a self-proclaimed sociopath, and even she's like, "What makes you think that this is normal?"
yeah,
Especially. Oh my god. Because I mean, it's just when you take him out of that situation or out of the environment for Chainsaw Man, is toxic behavior is a lot more obvious. It's a hell of a lot more obvious,
Yeah, and you know what's even funny?
especially
Even
if I can think.
Mineta has standards, even though they're extremely low in the plot. But he has standards. In fact,
Hmm.
if you go to TV shows right now, right, he even says, even though he is a pervert, even by his own standards, he will never grow up a female character.
Well, there you go. But yet, again, and yet, the first time Denji meets power, what's the first thing he wants to do? He does a groping gesture with his hand. I mean,
If Minota will not do that because he has a standard to not do that, that says a lot for Denji is in comparison.
there you go. There you go. And then not to mention, no, but not to mention, like I said, it's like the first time he meets her at all. That's the only thing he wants to do. And then, to be honest, that's like I've been saying before, because people act like because people act like Digi was to help his victim with Mike, but no, the fuck he was not. The reason why he was manipulating in the first place because he was just trying to exploit her. Like for example, when she made a vague promise because she knows he'll just do it. Yeah,
Yeah,
because she was using that because he knows that's what he would want.
yeah.
That's the only thing he's after. And it's like, and again, there's no point in the story, unless I'm wrong. There's no point in his story, in Denji's story, of course, where he even reflects on his actions and decides maybe that's not a good thing to do, or maybe this isn't a good look. Nope, he just goes along with it. He doesn't even care. So it's like,
And
okay, this is fucked up.
again, what's even funny, Mineta has been described, at least on the TV show page, right, as a sociopath.
Hmm.
But even they acknowledge that he cares and learns his mistakes, even though very slowly. But the fact that he actually cares for other people and learns from his mistakes and feel regret when he says something that he thought that he offended somebody and apologize, even though why they were sad was nothing to do with it.
I
Yeah,
know,
Denji doesn't do that. Like again, people will always point to powers like the closest example we have, but we already reboot that like 5 times now.
pretty
It's
much, pretty much. Just watch the previous videos. You guys will see if you pay attention to this video. It's like, yeah, he's not really. He doesn't even care about power. So
yeah,
power seemed like she actually cared, but he didn't. So it's like, well, there you go. Denji's not exactly the angel people try to act like he is. Like, no, not at all. He's not even a
yeah,
devil. He's just a rat looking for scraps.
yeah, pretty much.
It's
It's like
like, because I mean, no, because like I said, it's like because like I said, like for example, dude, think of any other setting from a show that that has a social norm setting, a moral setting, and you know for a fact that if you put him in that setting, he's just gonna look like a monster or just look unhinged next to the cast.
yeah,
Even next to the villains, just look unhinged, even by their own admission.
pretty
Think
much.
of no, 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 but think of an example from Cartoon Network or anime you can think of where it's like, oh, you should put him in this setting, he just look like like a monster.
Yeah, yeah. I
Like,
got.
what
Uh-huh.
about what about that time I got reincarnated as a slime? If you put him in that setting,
Uh, I feel bad for the slime. It's like I had to deal with this. It's like, do I have to deal with this one? It's like,
especially especially that one anime I was watching. I mean, another isekai where it's like, even in that one, there's like a moral standard. Jobless reincarnation, that one has a moral standard. Like
uh-huh.
even the guy who did get reincarnated, like he didn't want to feel like he was taking advantage of what's her name? I forget her name. The girl that he liked. He didn't want to feel like he was just doing that.
Yeah.
He wanted to like, you see what I'm saying? But if you put Denji in that setting, you put his ass in that setting, and now how it looks on his end, considering that one does actually have a standard to follow, it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, he don't look too great.
pretty much.
Like I said, it's funny. Like I said, it's funny to me how people will always try to jump into that. But like again, the moment you take him out of chains, somebody say, you know what? I've also mentioned in this video too. It's funny how like I was just going through a list of villains that Digi kind of sort of comes close to, and it's funny that out of all of them, Michael Morningstar from the Ben 10 universe, believe
Yo,
it or not,
yeah,
I know it's gonna sound weird.
you mentioned this
No, I'm
before.
gonna put it here. I'm gonna use this one here too. It's just that what makes me want to laugh is the fact that I remember in that comparison literally saying that Denji's predatory behavior matches that of Michael Morningstar. And the worst part is Michael Morningstar is considered the worst heinous villain in the entire Ben 10 franchise. I'm like, and you guys are defending Denji, and he's being compared to dude considered the worst in his own verse. And like, okay, why even defend him at this point? This is like
Yeah,
the equivalent of comparing someone to Genghis Khan or something. Like, wait, you're that level of bad? I don't see why we should be defending him. Like at this point, why be his lawyer in the courtroom? Why be-
yeah. Even
it's
so,
like,
even
okay,
so cannot fix this.
no. Especially if like for example in part two, because I know some people keep trying to act like he's not like he's out of character, like out of character. I'm like, guys, in part one he literally threw a bus full of 10 people at the Bat Devil and got them
Yeah,
killed and had no guilt or remorse about it, and yet you want to still defend him. And then in part two, let me get to the worse details. I mean, just to add on his list, where he literally tried to capitalize because he was just trying to take advantage of the Chainsaw Man identity, where he purposely let a mass massacre of murder happen to a bunch of people, so he would step in and it's like you purposely let that happen, so that way you can get more people looking at Chainsaw Man, and to make it even worse, like, oh man,
yeah.
there's that scene with the cockroach devil. He gave him ultimatum: save the old people in that bus, or save the younger folk in the other one.
Oh
And
yeah,
guess what he does? He chooses neither. He just goes after a cat to make him look cooler to save something, and then lets them plummet to their deaths. And again, this is sociopathic behavior we're talking about.
yeah,
And this is
yeah,
the same guy that people want to defend against for. It's
yeah.
like,
And remember, Mineta is
like I
also
said,
considered a sociopath, but he actually wants to save people.
I actually, dude, at this point, to compare Mineta's sociopathy, as you call it, to Denji's is kind of a joke because it seems like to me his sociopathy levels are extremely low, while Denji's are extremely high.
Okay, fair enough,
And then at this point, it's just kind
but
of like,
you get my point.
yeah,
Like,
but you do, like, listen, dude, you do get that a sociopath is someone who just disregards like society and shit and doesn't have like any empathy or pretends to have empathy. Well, Mineta seems like to me he actually does. It's just he wouldn't do something like, for you know what, if we're gonna talk about sociopaths, like for example, look at Bart Simpson from the Simpsons show. I'm gonna use him as an example where I remember in that one episode where Lisa pointed out Bart's sociopathic tendencies, but at the same time, Bart would never do anything that would like make his family be horrified because he cares how they feel and he wouldn't want to go too far.
yeah,
Like basically gaslighting his parents so he doesn't have to do homework, or whatever. And then of course him doing his pranks. But Bart has his standards where he won't do something like just go and killing someone or go on a killing spree or whatever. Nope, he wouldn't go that far. That's where he does, like, even he has his standards.
very
Even when
much.
you were to make a comparison between Jimmy and Denji, it's like, listen, even Jimmy has standards too. Yes, he has a transactional mindset, but there's even things he won't do. Like for example, but Denji will literally debase himself. He thinks it means he'll get something out of it. Jimmy
Yeah,
won't do that shit. He has too much respect for himself to even think about doing that kind of shit. Like, nah, I'm not that desperate, you know.
very much.
Like, and then to Jimmy, it seemed like to me he at least actually cared about Russell and the folks that he actually came to cross to know too.
Yeah, yeah,
Even P, you know what I'm saying? Like at least he somewhat cares, but he will try to like do some stuff or whatever. Well, Denji is just like this guy will literally. What makes it look like I said, that's what makes Denji look unhinged when you put him in these other settings where it's like this guy will literally act like a dog if he thinks if he thinks it means he'll get some food or something from someone. And I'm like, at that point, the moment you put that kind of behavior in a setting, like the bully or whatever, or anything like that, especially since it's like he's just gonna be looked at as a weirdo. You're just some weird ass dude and so desperate, a desperate weirdo or something, you know?
very much. It
It's
doesn't help
like,
that it doesn't help the fact that it's like I don't remember if I mentioned this in the previous video or not. His entire
hmm,
personality, could have been fixed or prevented if Pochita just intervened and interact with him. Because we know he can.
very true. Very true.
Like he could have saved him from his life as a slave for the Yakuza. He could have teach him the error of his ways, be a moral
Hmm.
guy. But he never did that. He let him become a sociopath. It's like, and remember, there's nothing in the universe that explains that. Oh, I can't talk with him that easy. No, he can easily. So nothing was preventing him from becoming who he was. He just let him become a monster, pretty much.
Basically. Yeah, I mean, it's like, well, that makes Pachio a monster considering he didn't even try to do anything to prevent it. And I'm like, well, then you create that monster, then, you
Yeah,
know? It's one thing for him to be a naive sociopath, but it's like you just allow him to become a naive sociopath, you know? And it's like, why didn't you do anything about it? You know? That's my question. Like, why didn't you? You know, that's one thing
Yeah,
on Vegeta. That makes me think twice about Vegeta. You know.
yeah, and not only that, like when he ate himself to erase himself, don't ask how. When he did that, is the to restart a new timeline. Technically, you made his life worse because he was slave for a longer
Hmm.
period of time. He lost more of his body parts because he lost one eye in this new timeline, right? And even though it's technically a plot hole, he shouldn't reach adulthood because his heart disease should be back. You know, so it's like he should have been dead as a kid because of the heart disease. But that's a plot hole, so it's like I don't know about that part.
All I gotta say is that Fujimoto quit caring about making things make sense, and that's essentially what happened.
Yeah,
Like for example, okay, I already mentioned Vox Machina, Machina. Okay, am I
yeah,
saying the name right? Again, like I said, put him in Mighty Nine. I'm currently watching the show, by the way. Put him in Mighty Nine. Like I said, even in that setting, the world isn't fucked up like Chainsaw Man setting. So, like I said, again with this, it's like the moment we put him in any of those settings, they're just gonna be like, okay, we need to kill him.
very
He's already
much.
finished season 4 with my voice of Vox Machina, and I'm like seeing someone like Denji's behavior or whatever, and seeing the shit he does. At that point, it's like, nah, we need to kill him. It's like, because I mean, like I said, it's funny how people try to act like Denji has some kind of moral ground when he clearly doesn't, and then, like I said, he just does whatever, and then because of that, that's what
Yeah,
makes him turn into a naive sociopath. Because he don't even see what he's doing as sociopathic, honestly, and then he so uncaring to the point where it's just kind of like, okay, this doesn't look too right. This doesn't look too great,
yeah,
especially considering like again, I know it sounds like we're both bashing on Denji, but the truth is, look at the manga, ignore the narrative, and then ask if we're wrong about that. Because I
yeah,
know it looks like we're just hating on Denji, but we're not. Because I look back at the chapters, and then I look back at the situation. I literally already pointed out what the narrative was basically brainwashing you guys on. I'm gonna listen again right now one more time. Well, Firmino, after Himino died, after he even admitted like he had a crush on her, after she died, he even admits he feels nothing for her death.
yeah.
Rize, like I said, he just liked what she represented to him, freedom
Oh,
from where he was at.
and
And
remember,
then
this is supposed to be
he,
the character who's supposed to be the one genuine true love for Denji before got killed off by Maguma. Mm,
yeah, no, but the thing is that like the problem is in that situation is that Denji he was willing to basically abandon Aki and Power, who were supposed to be a so-called family that people call, and he wasn't going to doesn't even give it a thought about it. You know, not even a second thought about it, just does whatever. And then
mm,
again, like I already mentioned before, if he actually cared about Rize, he would have been trying to search for her, but he doesn't even bother even doing that. And then my
yep,
third point is that about Rize is that when he does see her getting puppeteered, his first thing is not to concern himself with what's going on with her or whatever, or to show like
yeah,
he's wondering what's going on. No, he just cuts her down with his chainsaws and keeps going. So like, well, there you go. He doesn't even give a shit about Rize, and here everybody acting like she's the one when really he don't even give two shits about her, just like he doesn't give a shit about Himino. And then Power of all the females, who's supposed to be so-called close to siblings, after the buying contract that she told him to do, find a let devil in hell afterwards. He doesn't even do that in part 2. He's too busy trying to exploit the Chainsaw Man identity, thinking that it's going to get him laid, and that's all he does the entire time. And then he's just using the Chainsaw Man identity, thinking that he's going to get benefits or something. So it's like, are you guys really sure you want to still keep defending Denji at this point? It's
yeah,
like at this point, it's like I said, his sociopathy pretty much shows that he has bad boundaries. Of course, he doesn't think that far ahead. That's a given. And then he just has no guilt or remorse about the actions that he does. There's no regret. There's no guilt. There's no remorse. But people act like that's there. But I'm like, no, the fuck is not there. It's like he has no regrets. He never, and again, he never cared about Makima. He just was doing whatever the fuck he wanted. And every relationship he's ever been in is just him liking what people represent to him. And then when he started representing that to him, then he moves on to someone else. He just treats people like vending machines. When this shit gets broken, he goes to another one. And people makes me want to laugh when people act like he cared about folks and he clearly fucking doesn't. And again, like even Mineta, like you trying to say Mineta has somewhat sociopathic tendencies, but it doesn't seem like to me it's severe because he still cares about people. So, and then on top of that, at least he's not trying to, like you said, one of the many things he won't do is try to grope someone. So there you go. It's like, because I mean, it makes me want to laugh when I see that people want to still you know, still want to take Denji's side, but yeah, Mineta wouldn't even do half the shit Denji does, and you still want to basically pretend like Denji is some sort of angel. That's a damn lie.
Pretty much.
Because I mean, it just kept grinding my gears where people kept acting like Denji is noble. Like noble for what? Like, if it's not a transaction, there's nothing for him to be noble about. Like I said, and then his behavior in part two, his sociopathy is just is through a roof.
Yes, that
It's just that in part
he
one,
progressively gets worse as a character, at least writtenly as a character.
no, because listen, there's even this one part that people completely ignore in part two, where it's like because the shit he's doing, really truly, the public safety or government was just monitoring him because of how his behavior is, and because he decided to turn. I forget the storyline, but long story short, he decided to be chainsaw man anyway because even though knowing that would endanger someone, and he just does it anyway, doesn't give a shit. And even his reaction to Nayuta, for her head chopped off, it's like he's not really all that concerned about that. And anyway, he's not even the last person we're considered to have parental to even be a parental role. So yeah, fuck that. And then not only that, it's like they literally chopped him up. I remember in that part. I realized it was gonna fight. But no, I remember they chopped him up and whatnot and trying to move the part because they see how his behavior is just basically causing more trouble than it really needs to be. So,
Yeah,
and then not only that, it's like all these moments where Denji's sociopathy, especially part two, where it's more exclusive, and yet they just ignore it. And then on top of that, it's like, oh man, especially especially the other parts of well, if I'm gonna go for part one and part two, is that what's more consistent is the fact that, like I said, his unhealthy transactional behavior, even in his past. I mean, that was like in the beginning still, but it's like where he literally ate a cigarette ashes just to get $100. And the truth is, he did. From what I've read, he didn't even really need that. He just did that because he wanted to. He didn't do that because it was necessary. He just did it because he just wanted to. So it's like his unhealthy opportunism is, like I said, it goes to insane levels, and people just ignore that fact. Denji is shameless.
mm,
And like I said, this is the same guy who literally debates himself. Like I said, Mineta would never debase himself. Mineta has self-respect for himself, unlike Denji. Mineta would never like because you could say what you want about Mineta, but you would never catch Mineta wanting going after girl and wanting to act like her dog if it means getting something. Like, yeah, he's gonna just think that's unhinged. He's just gonna think that's unhinged.
pretty
And just
much.
be like, why you want me to act like a dog? That's weird. What the hell is wrong with you? At this point, you can't even use this peeping for that. It's like, dude, that's weird. Even Mineta's just gonna be like, that's weird.
Yeah, it's not even
Yeah, I can already
it's
see
it's not even like a simping role playing thing going on. It's just like no, you literally want to be treated as a dog.
exactly. Yeah, because like I said, I can totally see him talking to Dinky, but like, dude, it's like, you want me to act like a dog? I was like, wait, what? It's like, I know that's weird. Like, like you really think he would want to do some shit like that? No, he would not. Like you
Yeah,
said, it's not even role playing. It's like, why do you want this? Yeah, because I mean, like I said, it's like, and then not to mention, like, think about how the League of Villains would react to Denji if you put him in that setting. How his behavior is. And I think even All for One would just probably be like, of all the crazy people I've seen, all the unhingedness, this has got to be the weirdest one I've ever seen. And then for him, it's like, wow, he's like the weirdest person I've ever seen.
really, but
Like just like I said, even Dabby and even the all the rest is like I feel like even he'll just be like, okay, this guy's really strange, and and even on that side of things, like you said earlier, is like okay, the transactional mindset. Okay, any woman who is willing to volunteer for Denji on the League of Villains side. Oh no, none. Okay, well,
pretty much.
it looks like it look it looks like he's gonna be kicked out of here. It's like because I mean, like I said, it's like even on their side, there is you can't even really put him anywhere where you'd say, "Oh, he fits in here," or "Oh, it would basically be like all the rest of them." Not really, not really. Especially, imagine Shigaraki's reaction when hearing like, "You would literally betray your own teammates." for a slice of bread? Were you stupid or something?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's another thing too. I realized with Shigaraki's team is like they actually do care about each other. But yeah, you see, this is why Denji would fit in because it's like seeing that he doesn't give a shit. Yeah, they're just gonna get rid of him because, and then seeing that he'll literally exploit things for simple things like that is like okay, this is just like okay, he's just stupid. I think all of them can agree with that. That is like yeah, pretty much. Just be like, I don't know what this guy is. And then not to mention Stain, just be like, and I remember looking online, it's like saying Denji is the exact thing that Stain despises because of people just having a transaction mindset with the hero thing, except in this case, it's not really that. It's like, yeah, he kind of does fit the exact archetype that Stain despises. So no, Stain would not like his ass at all. Pause.
Mm,
No, think about it because that's the whole thing. Some of them are trying to be here for fame or for fortune. Him, it's like, no, it should be about the responsibility of taking care for others. And Denji, you and I both know the word responsibility doesn't even really begin to describe him. He's quite the opposite.
it's like if the story ended, if Chainsaw Man ended part one, or at least leave the Denji character alone after part one, people would have talked so much
hmm
shit because his original goal throughout part one that he wanted to live a normal life. He actually got what he wanted, and now he wants to be a superhero so he can get laid. Yeah,
Like I just said, that's the exact archetype. Stain would have just been like, yeah, you are exactly why I'm out there. You're a reason why I fight out there. So,
yeah,
because I mean, like I said, it's like the shit that this dude does. It's just like I don't know. Especially that one. I'm trying to think of that girl with the rings. I forget her name from one of the class. It was the class B. I can't remember which one it was.
with the
Class
with
B.
the with the rings, I
But
don't remember.
no, no, she blasts though. She uses it to blast. Even her hair looks is like in a ring pattern. Yeah, I'm sure you'll know who I'm talking about. Her hair is kind of
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes. Yeah, it's like because like I've been saying before, it's like the moment. I mean, for one, we both know his grades wouldn't be exactly high, and they even be the lowest in the entire school. It's like you put him in that shit, and the only thing he'll do is basically get in trouble because, like I said, with the mindset that he has in a setting where there's boundaries like that, social boundaries, it's like he's just gonna mess them up and disregard them, not understand that you're not supposed to do that shit.
Yeah.
Like for example, him literally, like I told you before. Imagine the school classmates' reaction seeing that the reason why he came here is because he thought that specialty UA is like thinking that it'll lead him to getting laid, and then the other classmates like, "What made you think this is what this school is for?" Like
Mhm.
he's like, "Let me get this straight. You came to a school, right? And you thought that you're gonna basically get laid out of it. Like the main goal is to get laid."
Mm,
And then the entire class just laughs after he says yes. Like you thought the purpose of these sessions is to basically lose your virginity.
pretty much.
He is joking, right, guys? He is joking, right? He is Nope, he's not joking. He's serious.
It's not like that's something he wants to do. No, this is like his sole motivation.
Mm.
It's
It's
like
like I said, it's one of the, especially. Oh my god. Especially considering like I said in that kind of in that type of situation where like the only thing he'll try to do is like literally aim to ask for an inappropriate well at least what he thinks is a transaction. It's like and then even one classmate be like Dingy, that's just sexual abuse. Like no that's that's just and like I mentioned before yesterday knowing Bakugo seeing his behavior hearing his behavior off knowing how that boy is like I should beat your ass. Look, you know how he'll be.
oh yeah, definitely.
The only time I actually would be on his side with that behavior, like you aim at the right tree this time. You're barking at the right tree this time. Seeing that he's sexually harassing the girls, I should beat your ass. And then not to mention that one girl who especially in the training grounds. It does now that I think about it, like looking at his behavior. Okay, again, when I'm going to make a comparison, because at least Mineta sticks up for his teammates. Denji, even during those like especially for example with the Typhoon Devil thing, he's literally treating people like stepping stones into trying to get what he wants out of it. Like literally, but like literally letting guys get damaged. Eh, great, I could even use that. I could even use that example part two, where he literally takes another guy's motorcycle and doesn't care the condition the guy's in. Straight down to basically letting certain events happen because thinking that it'll lead to whatever. Well, mainly trying to get laid. It's like even just the beginning of like the trials that the kids had to go through to do the simulation stopping a massacre. It's like that right there is already going to give him a pretty big F on that. It's like you literally were going to let Bakugo die, so that way it would succeed at your goal. Yeah, that's not cool in any way. Bakugo get pissed off of that, but understandably in that situation. But it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Pissed more than usual.
No,
Pissed off
seriously,
more
there
than
was
usual. Yeah.
no, but no, and then not only that, it's like, because listen, dude, think about the most empathetic classmates in that school, and then in the beginning they try to understand him, but then only see that especially the shit he does, and literally has no sense of social boundaries or anything like that, even moral boundaries, just does whatever. Literally going to go into a girl's room and then ask for favors like that. Even at that point, even with Toya is like, or even with that other girl's like, yeah, I'm done. Like think of the most empathetic characters in there, and they're like, okay, nah, he ain't right in the head. He's not playing a full deck. He never was to begin with. Be fair,
Not
and
really.
he's done with it. So yeah, like I said, it's one of those things where I'm like, you know, like I'm trying to think of another way. What's the name of that girl with her hair looking like vines, like thorny vines?
Oh, I know. I forgot that. I
Just,
know who you're talking about. Just don't remember the name.
just imagine her, like imagine him being her classmate and just how she'd react, because knowing how her character is.
Yeah, not good. That's all. That's all I have to say. Not good.
Because like I said, it's one of those things. Especially if they found out that like his backstory with Michael, but only to find out that he was literally using her too, and then he was a willing participant, and then that's gonna make them lose any like potential form of like empathetic feelings or whatever sympathetic feelings. Like at that point, it's like, dude, actually, out of all people, knowing Deku, because I know he usually tries to like understand. Imagine how Deku would react after hearing that he willingly participated in that shit and didn't really care. And the only reason why he went back at it is because his transaction got declined. Imagine Deku's characterization of reacting to that, knowing him out of all the other characters.
Yeah.
No, seriously, imagine his in character response like, you're not a victim. You're just as you're just as predatory as they are. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're
You are just as bad as they are. Yeah.
pretty much. Like I said, it's just gonna turn a situation of you're just as conniving and exploitive as they are.
Yeah.
It's like you're not a victim. You're not even a villain. You're just trash. It's ironic because if you remember in the last parts of part one, Makima did call Denji trash, but she wasn't just saying that though. If to be totally honest, she wasn't just saying that. That wasn't just to be saying that. That's pretty accurate.
Pretty much.
Because I mean, because like I said again, comparing his behavior to Mineta's behavior. Like I said again, Mineta, this dude literally, like you mentioned before, was sacrificing his own quirk because he wanted to, you know, was willing to do that if it meant getting things done. Mineta won't try, like you already mentioned before, he won't try to grow someone. And then to Mineta, at least, like I said, at least he has standards. I would say his standards are actually higher than you trying to lowball it because I'm like, well, for one, Mineta wouldn't go and eat somebody because on plus he would just think that's horrifying, and he sure as hell wouldn't be going and you know all the other inappropriate things that they should be doing. Because like think about Mineta this way. It's like Mineta is willing to help a teammate out. When he really need him. Like he's actually dependable. Like if you need like if they
Yeah.
need like especially with his friends like Dinky or whatever. It's like if you need like a dude that's definitely gonna help you out, like dude to dude, it's like yeah, he's the guy for that because look at a list of his behavior throughout the entire series and how because he respects social norms, so he's like, okay, I don't want to do this because then that would lead to not exactly a positive look, and then two, he wants to be successful, and this is why he's the top of his class. It's just he's lazy with it, but yeah. Well, Denji is like you just care about whatever benefits you. You actually don't really care about. It's like I already told you before about Denji. He wants to be cared for, but he's not a caring person. So how does that work?
No, that
And then at least with and then at least with Mineta, he actually can be a caring person. You know, like especially being cared for is like he actually can do that. So that's where I find it funny where everybody always attack Mineta, but it's like Denji literally is just he's literally well not exactly textbook, but just naive sociopathy. And then not to mention it's like Mineta would just be horrified of the idea of like willingly letting people get massacred just to look like a hero. Like, no, he would look at that as being a monster.
yeah,
And then he would just look at that as like, dude, what is wrong with you? That's psychotic, bro. It's like, because at least he actually understands. I mean, like I said, I understand people. Like I said, I understand the whole thing about like, Digi's past about how he is, but it's like again, he's not trying to correct it. Like for example, I can even use Doro as an example with Shin and Noi. Like, listen, they have a shitty backstory just like Digi does. But they still have they still have like the self reflection of like whether they should do this or not and how that would make them look. Denji doesn't even do that, so now how does that make him look even compared next to them? They have a shitty backstory just like he does when
yeah,
they were kids.
yeah. Like
It's like, but no, but seriously though, it's like looking at his behavior and Menez behavior. Anything you want to add because you've been quiet this entire time? You just let me take over your video as I just kept the rant going. You just kind of just sat back,
I mean, I had
especially.
nothing much to say because I will be just repeating what you said, just with my own language. But like, it just boils
No,
down
but
to,
no, but no, but in
uh,
this case, no, but in this case, then just think of a no, but just think of another example of a setting, or just think of an example of a team where it's like even they have standards than you, bro. Like, just go with that then. Since you've been quiet, just go
yeah.
with that or something.
I think the problem is most settings, if they have standards, like the only setting that he can thrive is Tokyo Ghoul because I already mentioned earlier, like there many of the characters are very fucked up, you know. It's
What about Seven
the
Deadly Sins? Because you mentioned Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh yeah, that was off screen. Yeah, he can actually thrive in setting deadly sins. It's like it's big or
For obvious reasons.
aka Chris Hansen the anime. It's the
Mm. Okay, at this point, I'm just gonna use the absolute Chris Hansen meme from the Absolute Universe.
like the fucking absolute
It's just.
Shaggy, but with Chris Hansen. It's like impressive. You made me
Mm,
use 1% of my
mm,
powers. It's like so it's like God damn it, I just get I think it will be more difficult what setting where Denji as a character actually can thrive. Yeah,
Yeah, because no, because one, because of the way his behavior is, society would just think he's a weirdo, and then two, because of how dumb he is. Like you mentioned him, because like I remember you mentioned like you put him in Baki, the prisoners just see they can take advantage of him. So it's like, and then like I said, it's like again, when you think of a setting like that, like for example, wait, put him in. I don't even know if that's in the same universe, but put him in King and Omega, and how his behavior looks next to the other character's behavior.
yeah. Then no.
Like I said, it's like, or you know what? I'm gonna let me pick some ones. You know what? Let's just. I have a better idea. Since we're going this direction, let's roast them a little bit and just basically think of all the other settings that you could put him in and just be like, yeah, they think you're weird, bro. They don't even want you on their team.
Not
They don't want
really.
you on their team. No. For example, wait, let me see if I can find it. Wait, hold on. I'm on TV looking at this.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Oh, well, I'm trying because I'm going through a list. Like, let's see, nuclear. Like, oh, I got another one. I mean, this is from a game, but imagine putting Denji in the Dispatch universe. Okay, he just looked like a complete fucking weirdo.
Oh no, yeah,
Robert Robertson. No, no, seriously, imagine how that shit. Like, imagine in character reaction. You put him in Dispatch universe,
No, no, no. He will be beat up by everybody.
and maybe even roasted by one of the ones that was part of that program, the Phoenix program, like Invisigal and definitely Robert and Flambe. Oh my god, Flambe. I just imagine the whole thing is like this guy's a fucking weirdo. Who put him here? Like,
Yeah,
I get, or especially what's his name? Shit, the rock looking dude. I can't remember his name. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. Or even Malevolos be like, I was like, out of all the humans, he's got to be the weirdest one I've ever seen.
yeah.
It's like you're like, it's I can just imagine a situation where it's like you're like a rabbit animal if it replaced a brain with a human,
Pretty much.
and then Vezigal is just like, who brought this dingus in here?
Are you a fucking dog? It's like, well, technically yes, because it's like, I do have the chainsaw that will put Cheetah. It's literally in my heart. So technically, he is a dog.
Wait. What about Robert's friend who aged faster because he runs speed? Imagine his roasting on Denji.
Oh, that will be a gold mine.
Mm.
Oh,
I'm
that will
like,
be beautiful.
you telling me that would definitely be complete and utter gold right there. Complete and utter Oscar worthy. The type of roast.
Literally, it will be like the fucking. I don't know if people will get the reference. The YouTube channel Civ, just
Mm,
endless roast East YouTube short. It's just endless roast,
mm.
like
Like I
sh-
said, it's like
like
you put
sh-
it like
like Shakespearean vocabulary to roast this motherfucker.
like especially knowing the type of favors he would ask, and it's like, did he really just ask me to do that? And then knowing her going invisible and just punch him right in his freaking face,
Pretty much,
and then him just being there, and then I can even imagine Robert's like, okay, I didn't know the weirdos were coming out tonight,
pretty much.
and then it's just like, oh man, it's like I could definitely see what's his. I forget his name. I think his name is changed. Some. I think yeah, I think his name. I could be wrong though. Looking like Einstein, a black guy says like, I could definitely see him saying, who let these rabbit animals in here? It's like, oh no, we don't let the what do you call it? It's like you don't let those shit. I forgot what you call those motherfuckers. You don't let those people who get high out again. We don't let those guys who get addicted to shit out again. We should, this is one of those areas that you find around the projects that you don't want to. It's like that's where this is where it's coming from. You're from one of those areas that's real like poverty and just got all kinds
Okay,
of crackheads. You're like,
that
who let the
that
crackheads here?
that sounds like an insult to the projects. Well, okay, it's like
No, 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 no,
at least the projects, at least the ghettos, the hood, at least people with
no, no,
creative
no, no, no,
potential
no.
comes out of it.
No, 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 no. This is more like you look like if the projects definitely had the worst type of demographic that failed so horribly from it that this is the leftovers from it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, I could have seen it, but no, looking at other worlds, like you put him in hell, even if you put his ass in pause. Now, even if you put him in well, I'm trying to think of another world. Hell, even in an invincible setting, he'll look unhinged. Honestly, if I'm being totally honest. I mean, I know we have some pretty bad ones, but they still carry some kind of ideology of some sort. Denji has no fucking ideology. It's just him just being him. So it's like,
Oh yeah.
you can't tell me Mark wouldn't look at Denji and think he's a weirdo too.
Oh yeah. Like to fix the character, we need an alternative history where his life was drastically different. Like fucking like what Invincible is doing with Conquest. Like, oh, what would happen
Mm,
if Conquest went to Earth before Mark and raised by raised by humans? Like
mm-hmm.
he will be completely different character. Instead of a conqueror, he's like
pretty much,
a defender of a piece of earth, like a hero, you know, and
pretty
also
much.
marry a beautiful black queen on top of it. You know, it's like yeah, you know, it's like
No, especially no. I already seen folks do like that kind of video where they like, oh, here's Conquest. If he was born on Earth, he'd look like a gardener and he's just chilling. I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right for Conquest. Like this would definitely be his life, if not
yeah,
for being raised a Viltrumite on Viltrum, their philosophy, and just like, okay, yeah, you turned into a complete and utter disaster, but I can mainly throw it at pretty much at from his own planet's way of doing shit because their way is just social Darwinism, and that's not a pretty sight.
yeah.
Or no, you know what? Imagine no. I just thought of another one. Imagine putting him in the Metal Gear universe. Yeah, you can't really. Like I said, even in that one, unless I'm wrong, I don't see how he would fit in. And unless I'm wrong, I don't see how he would fit in the Metal Gear universe.
He will, to be honest, even though there are weird supernatural stuff going on in the Metal Gear, he will be out of place. You know, it's like
Completely.
you know, it's like he may be more the more the dangerous ones because given his chainsaw powers, you know, super speed and all that. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like okay, you can argue he can be a threat, like a genuine threat, judging purely by combat. You know, but as a character,
Mm-hmm.
like what we see compared to everybody else, he's weirdly out of place.
Very much out of place.
And remember, this is Hideo Kojima, like a man who enjoys his feet. Denji will be so out of place for his goals. you
Like,
know,
don't you remember? Don't you remember? Don't you remember what I was saying? Like, since he has dual powers, like imagine putting him in Devil May Cry, but even that setting, he'll be out of place because how weird his behavior is, and even Dante, I think he's weird.
yeah, pretty much.
Even Virgil is like, get this filth away from here. And then I know, and then Dante's like, okay, this is really awkward, but it's like I sure can make this work. And it's like,
yeah.
then only to hear that like he literally like and then only to hear that he literally let a mask grab and just get laid. Like, okay, yeah, you're a problem.
Uh-huh.
No, but like I said, it's like, oh, wait, what about Devil Man? Okay, that's an older anime, but I'm just kind of using it because of the theme. So
Oh, to be honest, actually, that kind of works for him.
you're, yeah, but here's the problem. One thing I actually acknowledge that because how unhinged his transsexual mindset is, I don't know if he would like stand out a little bit more than the rest because how unhinged his transsexual mindset is.
To be honest, not really. The Devilman setting, the devils
Unless I
are
forgot.
the devils in Devilman. Well, the
Uh
old
huh.
school Devilman. You know, maybe the remake Netflix may have some change up. It's been a while. With
Okay.
that they're very immoral. Like like the idea of
Okay.
being
Well, maybe he fits in after all. Maybe
yeah,
he fits in
the
after all.
Devilman, he will surprisingly fit in. He will be like one of the few characters that's like is not openly antagonistic towards humans, you know, like because in Devilman setting they're stereotypical devils, you know, like they just want to destroy humanity.
Right.
If the
Right.
but like his behavior will fit right in.
Okay. Okay. Well, there you go. See, it's funny. I think out of all the lists, it's like we only see a few. There's only like very few. Wow. There's only like very few situations where he fits in, and the rest it would just be like, nope, nope, we're not keeping him here.
Yeah.
We're not keeping him. Like I said, you put him in Ben 10 setting. Nah, he looks unhinged. He does not fit at all. Or you put him in. I'm trying to think of that one. Wait, I just thought about another. This is from Cartoon Network. I just thought about another setting where it's like you try to put him in that shit, you're gonna be like, what the hell? Like for example, remember that? No, that's Disney Channel. I'm thinking about. Remember that show? That unfortunately didn't last that long. Motor City. Put him in that setting. Now tell me he doesn't fit in. Tell me honestly for a fact if he was in Motor City, he
Motor
wouldn't just be
City.
the completely most unhinged character in the entire show.
And well he will be run over, that's for sure.
Pretty much. Oh boy. Like even the main bill will be like, okay, I want nothing to do with this weirdo.
Yeah,
Like whatever plan he had, I can already see him because I remember the villain. I remember how he acts. It's like I can remember whatever evil plan he has. Like seeing Diddy's behavior. Like, on second thought, I want nothing to do with this guy.
yeah,
Like, get him out of here. Or even let me see. You know what you know what? Wait, no, wait. Or what about that one Yeah, I could use that. What about that one Transformers animated show? You put him in that shit, and how even the Transformers would react, the Autobots, even the Decepticons would like, I didn't know that humans were unhinged like this. And Megatron's like, man, humans are crazy. I didn't even realize it.
they assume that he's such a weird alien, given the Devilman power. It's like, okay, this is clearly some weird humanoid species.
It's like, huh? Either he's some sort of alien that looks like a human, or he's just one of those really, really strange human species I didn't know about.
Yeah,
This needs to be studied.
it's like
This he needs to be studied.
Bumblebee. I thought the Homo sapiens were the only human species. Like, who is this strange species?
Like, no. Oh man, I could go for every any other species. Oh man, I could just see it. Great. When you put it like that, that makes me think about any other character or any other alien characters that come to Earth and just see Denji. It's like, huh, this species is
Yeah,
rather primitive, and for some reason they, it's like for some reason they're willing to do anything to get what they want, even if that means being treated like a pet. How very odd planet.
yeah,
At that point, it's like I wonder how the civilization functions with people like this.
yeah,
Honestly, I don't think you see him as a people, just see him as like some sort of animal. Like, huh? The speech. He's having very heightened blood temperature, and he's acting odd. Really strange. Writing that down. Very strange indeed.
like literally that one skit from that YouTube channel with D&D, is like the annoying bat who just writes everything down like a therapist. It's like, stop writing. It's like,
Wait. How do you think Hellboy would act if he was in Hellboy setting and he's just like, bro, this weird ass.
oh, that's an accurate response for Hellboy. Like, what the
That's
fuck
what I'm
are,
saying.
what the fuck are you?
Like him smoking. I could just imagine him like smoking near a bar or something.
Yeah,
And then he's like, see that hot girl over there? It's like, yeah, what about it? And he's like, ooh, I want her to sit on me so I can touch her breast. And he's like, wait, what? What
excuse
the
me,
fuck
sir.
did you just say?
Yeah,
It's like, get away from me, you fucking weirdo.
I was about to say, it's like, sir, I think you're in the wrong setting.
It's like,
It's literally
I guess I'm.
it's literally that one meme about like a character say something ridiculous and then the employee is like, "Sir, this is a Wendy's." It's like, you know,
I know. I swear. Or you know what? Wait. Okay, we're just going to go this direction. Imagine putting him in. We're saying like Thundercats, but the anime version. Of course, that's still going to make him look weird. But imagine put him in that setting and how they would react to his shit if you put him in that setting. But even the villains, it's like, huh? I didn't know humans act like this. He must be a. I feel like I get it's going to be like he must be a rare species human I've never seen before because his
yeah.
behavior is not like the other ones.
Was he? It's like, was he born in Chernobyl? Probably radiation has to do with this.
Or if he was born in He-Man, even Skeletor. Oh, great, Skeletor. Oh man, all I see was Skeletor. I feel like the moment he approaches or whatever, trying to rule and just seeing Denji's behavior, I feel like the whole thing you get from Skeletor is like he slowly turns his head to Evelyn, looks at her, and he just looks back at Denji, and then he just shrugs his shoulders like, "Okay, he's a weirdo."
I know.
Like he's like, uh, you just look at Evelyn, he just shrugs his shoulders like. "Mhm."
Like,
No, the only time I'm actually kind of with Skeletor, like, I don't know, man, he's weird. Don't ask me. Believe me, he's not my people. He's not one of me. He's not one of us, bro. He's not one of us.
it will be so funny if it turns into like a joke. He's like, oh yeah, it's like is he one of your people? What do you mean your people? It's like, oh wait, slow down. it's like it's like calm down.
No, actually, no. Imagine if Skeletor was like, why don't you just come here and get one of yours?" And He-Man's like, one of mine. He's not from where I'm from. I don't. As a matter of fact, I don't know where he's from. It's like, oh, well, just bring up the trash. Take
Yeah,
out the trash.
it's like, bro,
I swear.
it's like it's like
Or
if
imagine.
again, if the story ended in part 1, or if they did what they did the first ever part 2, where we have a new main character, a new villain, a new beginning, right? And Denji's story is done. I think we would have so much complaint about Denji's character development throughout the second one. If he
Probably
stayed,
not.
if he was
Probably
reducing
not.
if
But
he was
yeah.
reduced into a background, secondary, or supporting role, fine. But the creator went
Mm-hmm.
out of his way to
Right.
reintroduce Denji, reintroduce to the main plot, even though Chapter 96, his story was done. Yeah. So it's like,
No, but it's just like
uh,
no, but the last example I was going to use is like imagine put him in Fist of the North Star
yeah.
and just like no, seriously, like is that something you see him fitting in, or you just see it like nope, he's just gonna be seen as an oddball and an outcast in that situation or that setting?
Dandy's first day in the This is the North Star universe. Oh, post apocalypse, setting. I gotta be the badass around here. Oh, Mario Man won't cheat there, Nani? It's like, oh no.
Or especially if it's like one of those like uh oh, I just thought about another one where it's like they come from another realm, and then because they're interested in seeing how the human realm is like, and it's like, okay, it's like, did the human species regress, or am I just looking at one of their rare outcasts from that was kicked out of their own environment or something?
I don't know. At this point, we're not even analyzing Denji anymore. We're just roasting Denji
Not really. Pretty much, pretty much, because I mean it's just how people act. I'm like, no, I need to make an example of this. Like, for example, like you know what? I'm about to do it. Like, imagine, like if another boss, like they're coming onto the Earth realm, right? And
Uh-huh.
then they see like their task of taking out another human, and then just have to be dingy, and then Bliss just seeing his behavior and is like, who the fuck is this? I can imagine going like, who is this dingus? It's like,
Very much.
look at this guy. I got no. Actually, I can see him like, Moxie, come here, look at this. You see this? It's like, I think that's the guy we're supposed to be targeted to kill. Who the
Oh
hell?
yeah.
I can imagine like, this guy's a weirdo. Look at that. Like, oh, I'm sure he's not a weirdo. Maybe he just misunderstands, and he'll only proceed to hear that Denji's gonna think that he'll try thinking that him acting like an all good help him get laid with a girl that he likes. Like, okay, yeah, he's a weirdo.
Very much.
It's like, they proceed to hear is like, yeah, this is odd. Like, it's bad. We make even the demons be like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's like,
Like,
bro.
who is like, who is this guy? It's like,
You know who I
it's like,
got?
was
You know
he
who?
like,
You know who I feel
what,
bad if it
what,
was in another setting?
what,
If
what?
if it was in Aspen Hotel. Imagine Charlie. She's gonna work.
Oh no.
She's gonna work overtime.
I hate to tell you, dude. I think Charlie would just give up on him. That'd be like a one moment where she legitimately gives up and just be like, okay, he's just insane and completely so dumb he doesn't realize he's a sociopath.
Probably, but Charlie. She's
Even
very, she's very hard headed. But
uh,
I'm not gonna criticize
no,
Charlie
but I
for
can
it.
tell.
Yeah.
No. I can tell in character. I can tell Charlie's limits, dude, and I can tell this will be her limit. Like, okay, he's a psychopath or sociopath, whatever, and he
Yeah.
clearly is so dumb he can't even recognize a bad action when he sees it. And then I guess imagine her going like, and he's just doesn't have boundaries. Yeah, actually, it's kind of, scratch that. The first moment, the fact that he just only thing Denji wants to do is rope her breath. That right there is already going to make her want to stop right there. That's that right there's already going to make her want to stop the line right there. Knowing Charlie
Huh.
is, you seriously like knowing her character, dude. Yeah, she's going to stop it right there. Like, nope. I'm not putting up with this shit.
Hmm.
The one time, no, that would be like a one time you see her just legitimately stop being cheerful. It's like, nope, I am not putting up with this crap. You were too much to harbor. Even the princess of hell doesn't want to put up your ass. It's like you're out.
You know you fucked up when the Princess of Hell, who is like weirdly optimistic, nice person, even though she's supposed to be the Princess of Hell, she gives up on you. It's like, yeah, you fucked up. You're like, I'm sorry. There's nothing else I can say about it.
And honestly, even her dad would just be like, "Who let this weirdo in this hotel?"
Pretty much.
Honestly, how do you think Alistair would react in character to him? Or he'd just be like, look confused or something?
Alistair, yeah, he will be confused.
All I can say, like, I know he's heard some weird shit, but it's like, I just imagine him like hearing like Denji wants a girl sit on him or whatever something, or any other weird idea they think is a transaction was really just him being weird. It's like, huh? I can see Alistair still his perpetual smile and just look confused with his eyes, like, what? What did he just say?
Anyway, and remember, Alistair is very no nonsense, so it's like seeing Denji, he would just like, Charlie, my dear, can I call you? No. Okay, too bad.
Actually, this is the one more where I'm like, I'm kind of on Alistair on this one. Yeah, you should. I'll be one more like, yeah, Alistair, I think you'd be doing people a favor if you did
Yeah,
that, if I'm being totally
they
honest.
can do like a once they can do like that one slapstick, like Looney Tunes humor. It's like, I will promise I will not kill him, Charlie. Hey, look over there. What? He proceeds to kill it. Proceeds to.
it's it's like one of those things where even if you're talking about don't say anything, like say anything. That guy was fucking weird. If anything, you're doing me a favor. It's like I'm
Yeah,
actually on you on that one. What are you talking about? It's like oh okay.
it's bad for PR. Okay, it's
Exactly. Exactly. It's just kind of like, dude, you literally just did what people were actually wanting to happen. So, if anything, you did us a favor.
yeah,
Actually, another one that I just thought about, like, imagine how Vox would act seeing Denji or the rest of the V's.
uh, yeah. Not that it's not gonna end well for him. Regard again, most settings it's just not gonna end well.
Because I can already see Vox being like, who let this weirdo in my building? Get him the fuck out of my building. It's like, I can already see him just go, like, any plan he would have had is like, huh? Wait, what?
Yeah,
Especially especially his reaction to him wanting to grope one of his employees' breasts. Like, wait, what? Wait,
um,
because I know he's a professional where he's at his building, so it's like for him, it's like that's not something he wants to mix business with pleasure with like that. So,
and also, bro, on the first day, it's like you couldn't even wait.
especially him coming with some, especially him talking about some nonsense of especially him saying that he would literally like you know basically turn or do betrayal over simple things like thinking they'll give somewhere to sleep or whatever and just be
Yeah,
like, is this guy stupid or something? Yeah, he kind of is. Yeah, he kind of is.
yeah,
I swear, I just like everyone else's reaction, even the angel girl, I forget her name from heaven. I feel like even she would just be like, uh, let me just pretend we did that didn't happen. Let
yeah,
me just
pretty
pretend that
much.
didn't happen. Even the mom is like, yeah, what were we talking about again?
Like, excuse me, sir. I believe the man requires a good old place called jail. This and it's like I think
Wait, wait, wait a
I
minute. Wait,
think
wait,
I,
wait, wait, wait,
wait, wait,
wait,
wait,
wait. I
wait,
have one more. I have one more. I have one more.
go,
I have
go.
one more. Imagine how Adam would act to Denji. Oh my god. And then how knowing him, he would just be going off a roller coaster. Like, when I said that all dicks is into me, that doesn't really apply to him. So I
Okay,
was
yeah,
like,
fair.
like, okay, when I said that, just to be more specific, it doesn't apply to him specifically.
Yeah.
It's like, I have nothing to do with whatever that is.
I mean, what? It's like how we can fix this motherfucker? It's like we use every threat imaginable. Wait, there's one threat you didn't do. It's like, what is it? Come here, Denji. It's like, if you don't fix your
Like
ways,
Big Terry.
yeah, yeah, you're gonna be Big Terry. Who's Big Terry?
Mm.
Who's Big Terry? Nobody knows. But the people who do know never come back. Do you want to know? No, good. All I know is like, if you see a honey bun, do not eat it randomly. It's like that. That's his trap. That's a warning in advance. It's like you be careful, okay? Big Terry is waiting for his next the princess. It's like princess, yeah, long story.
Honestly,
It's
dude, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I feel like the worst outcome for Denji because he's such a dumbass is like because of his age and knowing the type of trouble he would get into, specifically someone who isn't in that part, and then just him being how it's like, okay, so what are you here for? Even Charlie, that's gonna be one time she's gonna flip. It's like the one time she's definitely gonna flip. It's like, what did you just say? Like that'd be like the one time her voice sounds kind of icy. Like, what
it's
did you
like
just say?
it's
It's
like
like
it's a little it's like what that one time when she said that the word bitch to the news reporter demon. It's like what? It's like what?
no, I feel like in this situation, no, I feel like in this situation it'd be like one of those moment of tranquil fear a little bit where the voice, like the voice sounds icy, was like with her head down a little bit, like, what did you just say? It's
I know.
like that's where it's like it's worse. It's like, and then him not understanding, and then him talking about it, he just wanted to lose his virginity. He's like, oh no, I've never seen her mad like this before. It's like I've never seen her mad like that before.
I
I
know.
mean, it's like I don't blame her, but it's like, especially now that I think about it, because look at it, like for example, out of the next one, I could say it's like Alistair. He's like he has this thing about where he'll kind of respect women more than men, but then again, looking at the time he's from, that's kind of the reason why.
Yeah.
Because even in one web comic where he literally ate a guy because he was like being disrespectful of a woman. Ooh, yeah, he's gonna now like what Digi says out of his mouth in that situation.
Yeah.
It's like, can I kill him now? Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, we went through quite a bit of like universes where you just pretty much just start roasting Denji. But again, that's just to show you guys that, like I said, Denji's not the angel you make him out to be. Like, I don't know if you've seen the death battle, the new death battle with Denji versus
Yeah.
Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen. With the way they're portraying Denji, I'm like, this isn't really accurate because the motherfucker doesn't even give a damn about the dead bodies.
Yeah.
It's like I said, and then the whole brother thing. Like, no, again, this is the brainwashed people for looking at the shit. Because again, this is the same dude who flat admitted he doesn't give a shit about Himino's death, and then now you're trying to portray him in a positive light. I'm like, no, he's not in a positive light at all. And then looking at Mineta, who clearly would do half the shit that he does, yet you guys want to attack Mineta, even though he would never try to exploit his classmates or anyone like that. But yeah, you want to attack Mineta, and it just don't make sense to me. So
Yeah.
since we've went through that whole roasting thing of just showing like again, like especially settings where it's very freaking clear that's a moral setting or social norm setting, and then the moment you put Denji's dumbass in that setting, and then just be like, act like, oh, he has some kind of value, and then the moment you put him in that setting, it just exposes toxic behavior where it's like he literally will do anything, he'll literally exploit folks for simple things, and then not even give a damn that he caused this massacre to happen. And then, of course, the characters in that situation or in those settings are going to be like, "Oh, poor Denji." They're going to be like, "Motherfucker, get out of here, you fucking weirdo." Especially in
Yeah.
Hellboy's verse, like, yeah, definitely. And then, not to mention the fact that, like, I remember I used Symbiotic Titan, but I told you because as a social norm setting, that's why I use that one.
Yeah.
Even those aliens, they're just gonna. I feel like even they would just look at him like, "Are all humans like this?" Or like again, it's like, are all humans like this, or he's just like a rare percentage of that, or is he like a minority or something like that? Even them, it's like Symbiotic Titan is like, this is okay. I may have to write this down. Let me write this down. Okay, some humans have very odd behavior. he apparently responds really strange stimuli to this girl eating some food, and he's just watching. Like, I can imagine putting write notes down. It's like, huh, what a really strange specimen.
Yeah.
It's,
Like,
it's like
this
the
this this
the
needs to be studied.
specimen the specimen wants her to treat him like furniture. Really odd desire for his kind. I wonder if he's a subspecies.
Yeah, it's like
It's like, the other humans don't act this way. Maybe he's
it's,
like a subspecies.
it's like man, he has some strange kinks. Let me talk to the VTuber Project Melody. She's the expert of these topics. She may know the answers.
I swear, it's like I don't know, but yeah, like I said, like I said, even I'm trying to think of another one I remember. It's like, cause like I said, Mineta, I can put him in a setting and he would fit right in. You put him in Steven Universe, he really wouldn't look bad at all. If anything, he would just fit in. He's just got a perverse side, but it's not. Like I said, it wouldn't be catastrophic. It's like, nah, he would just fit in. But Denji, no, he don't fit in. He look like a monster. Because it's
Pretty
like
much.
even like you said, that Jim's just beat up Denji. It's like, yeah, pretty much. Because at least Minette would respect the gym's boundaries, Denji not so much. And then, like I said, with the examples we made, it just makes it very clear that the bias towards these two is like, what the fuck moment.
Yeah.
And then, lastly, before we end this video, I just also want to point out how people act like. Listen, I know, like you said in the beginning, like Denji wants a normal life, but to be honest, if you no, he doesn't. I'm gonna say this right now. No, he doesn't. The only thing he wants is whatever is available for his current needs. Because in part two, he just wants someone to take care of him. From part one to part two, that's all he really wants. He just wants someone to take care of him, and that's literally it. He's looking for a landlord with free rent. That's essentially what he wants. He doesn't want to have an independent, normal life. He just, that's why he just stuck with Makima because, like I said, he could have. And another thing I want to point out is even more fucked up now that I think about it because when Aki died, he inherited his place. All Denji did was just basically take his place for granted. He did where the fuck he wanted with it. He sabotaged it. He ruined it. And you're telling me that he's such a good guy to Aki? No, the fuck he is not. No, the fuck he
Yeah.
is not. He literally ruined Aki's place, bro. And then, like I said, it's like I just don't get it. It's like this is the same guy that, like I said, as the shit went on, it just kept. I mean, like hell, who am I kidding? In part two, it just takes away his excuse for why he's that way. Because really, truly, if I'm being totally honest, in part two, you can't even really keep using his excuse as fast. Because in that part, he's clearly on his own and can do his own thing. He's no ties to the yakuza or whatever. Nothing's tied around him, so he's free to do whatever he wants. And at that point, he just chooses to be responsible with it. So at that point, it's just him being even more sociopathic, just without the excuse at that point. So.
Pretty much.
Because I mean, like I said, he's free to do whatever he wants. He's not tied to anyone. Yet he chooses to abuse it, and that's one thing that nobody's ever said, but it's true. He literally is just abusing the Chainsaw Man identity and shit. He's literally abusing his freedom, and then it's like you guys completely ignore the fact that he's not even trying to do anything right with it.
Yeah.
He's just focused on. It's funny how, but then he's a dumbass. But it's funny how he never just thought about just go to a strip club if you still insist on getting laid because what he's doing is just pointless. It's like you literally can just go to a strip club and do that shit. You don't have to do all this bull crap you're doing, or leaving your identity around thinking that it's gonna get laid or whatever. And conveniently wearing a Chainsaw Man T-shirt, or him literally telling him that he's Chainsaw Man or whatever. And it's like you literally can just go to a strip club and do that shit. You don't have to do all that bull crap that you were just doing. That didn't even make sense, you dumbass. It's like that. Like seriously, it's like very simple thing that can be handled, and yet you waste your time doing all this shit. We should have just went to strip club, but whatever.
Pretty much.
You just can't get that point across in his mind. That never crossed his mind knowing him at all. So, but then again, he's not exactly capable of complex thought. So,
Not really. He needs the power to have one brain cell functioning.
yeah, but the problem is that power is like Power's even like dumber than him, arguably speaking. So it's like I don't know about that.
That's what I'm saying. With their powers combined, they have one functioning brain cell. It's like
Dude, dude, even with them combined, their skills, if I can call it, wouldn't even help us get out of a t-shirt. Hell, they wouldn't even be able to figure out a they wouldn't even be able to figure out a case a detective work to do, even together.
no, 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 no.
Mineta would be able. I mean, I don't think it's fair to use Mineta, but even Richard Watterson from Gumball, he figured out what happened to his kids, and he's supposed to be considered a dumbass. And Denji wouldn't be able to even do half that shit. It's like even other dumb characters, it's like okay, they're not at your level, obviously.
Yeah,
Like it's just moderately dumb, but not severely dumb. Denji's like on the severe line of it, honestly, to be totally honest. Even
and they were
Power, she's just along with it. Is like, okay, you guys are literally dumber than Richard and Grog. Because it's like at least they still can they pay attention to what's going on, but you is just like, okay, now your mind's a little more simple than I thought it was.
yeah,
So now, with that being said, we've made this video go on long enough about the comparisons between Denji Mineta and the extra roasting Denji because truth is, you put this guy in any moral setting, any other setting, like we already mentioned, Dispatch. Yeah, he's just gonna look like a complete fucking weirdo. Especially if it's a slice of life or if it's just a dating anime or whatever. Yeah, he's gonna look like a fucking weirdo. It's like,
yeah,
because dude, seriously, but like I said, I need to make this point. I need to make this point home with people who watch this video. Do you honestly see him in that setting like that? We're supposed to be a dating setting, and then when it's about who's the best boyfriend, he wouldn't even be in the top 10. Hell, he wouldn't be in the top 100. He would
yeah,
just be the bottom of the barrel of like the worst example. All he wants to do is grope your breast and get laid, and that's all he's really interested in. After that, he doesn't give a shit. You call it's like he would be the worst potential ideal boyfriend ever in history in that setting, especially in slice of life. Hell no, he looks like a serial killer,
yeah.
a complete unhinged dumbass serial killer.
I know.
And then it's like, and then like I already said before, like in things like Dispatch or My Hero Academia, it's like, okay, dude, what the hell? Like I said, Aizo would be like, what the hell? Mike could be like, what the hell? And the rest of the teachers, the principals, like, what the hell? And then not to mention, it's like I said, like I said, even the other heroes used to work at the UA. You just go look at them like, okay, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Because, like I said, even the League of Villains would be like, look, that's because of Toga's cord that she's a touch of blood and that helps her transform and shit. You're just weird. That's not even because of that doesn't connect anything to your abilities. You're just weird.
just pretty much.
Honestly, I just see the way I see it is like the way the League of Villains against Digi's like the way I see them scolding is like the way Soldier Boy scolds Homelander. Like, look, you're a fucking weirdo. It's like, no, I don't want nothing to do with him on our teams. He's fucking weird. Even Dabby is like, it's like, dude, you literally just asked her to do some weird favor for you so you could touch her butt or something. That's fucking odd. Like, that's not how you get a girl to like you.
Yeah,
You- I swear, it's so bad. You're gonna make him and his brother like agree on something. You're gonna make him and his brother actually agree on something for once.
pretty
Todoroki.
much.
It's
But
like
yeah,
Shigaraki is. But yeah, no, seriously. Let's wrap this video because we just kind of had to make our point about like, especially to you earlier, since you're one of the few people who I broke free from the brainwashing, seeing that basically Digi's not all that much of an angel, more like a rat that just looks for scraps. And not even a good rat, just a terrible one.
hey, don't say
So,
the same
what?
red. That's a disrespect to Master Roshi. But okay, it's
Okay.
scum.
That extinct. No, okay. Scum isn't worried about. I don't know if that's good enough. I'm just gonna use that extinct rat species, the rat something, ratamanium or something like that.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm gonna use that because that's an extinct. Yeah, yeah, they're extinct rat species. They're almost as big as horses, but they're gone. So I'm gonna use them instead, since nothing will really offend them.
yeah,
But now, with that being in mind, let's just wrap this video. So, with that being said, guys, that's our little take and rant on how the fandom is biased, completely ignores the fact that Denji's just a naive sociopath who's just horny. People try to act like he's anything but. And yet Mineta would definitely sacrifice his life for his friends if it means getting things done and actually cares about the girls he likes. It would never, ever, in his own standards, even broke a girl. And he has his standards by his perverted behavior, and he admits he's a perverted behavior. So with that being said, like, subscribe, and see you guys later. Peace. Well, at least mostly for Gamingfan, because I'm just one of his, guys who just do videos with sometimes with co-ops. But that's besides the point. So now, with that being said, good night or day to
Yeah.
any of you, depending where you're at.
Yeah, like, subscribe, share, and I hope you see you guys next time.